So this designer, Mike Faltzgraff, right now is working on one of the 3 concepts that we're putting together to send over to Lance in a week or so. And this first version has quite a few video game references in it, and is a pretty cool look.
Sorry.
Dude, you're ruining the buzz. Come on.
Oh wait, were you?
We're rolling, baby, but keep on going. This will be good. I'm sure they'll edit this out, right? Edit this out.
You edit the S word out?
Yeah, and they'll make it a sound. Yeah, yeah.
We'll just do a beep.
So there you go. You start a broad view and maybe take us on a tour of a few of the images, and these guys will patch in audio as they see it, as they see fit.
Okay, well,
but you're not mic'd, so.
This mic's on, so.
Is it? Oh, perfect. Okay.
So yeah, we're working on 3 concepts right now. One of them is a 2-bit pixel Atari, circa Atari 1986 graphic version. The other is more of a urban street art version. So right now this is just all in sketch form. I have all kinds of bikes all over the screen, all kinds of little elements, and over time they piece them together and you start seeing actual bikes coming out of it. So building patterns, building graphics, making reference. This one in particular references a lot of older Atari games. So it's kind of a light reference, but so yeah, it's just kind of a fun concept. There's a lot of famous artists have been doing bikes for Lance this year, and they're all over the map stylistically. So we're giving a go at doing something that's in the same vein of that.
The 1-up.
The 1-up. That's right. Extra life.
This is the Yoshitomo Nara bike for Lance's Tour de France prologue.
And who's Yoshitomo?
He's a Japanese artist. So.
And he's famous for,
Lots of fun stuff.
Lots of stuff.
So Shane, what's the process of, are these decals you're putting on, or what are you putting on here?
Right now these are just paper pieces, full scale, to make sure we have all the fit correct for the bike. And then from here, I will send this file out for actual decals and get everything in and apply them to the frame. So this frame here is actually for another bike that we're doing for him, which I just received decals for. Later on today I'll be applying those to this actual frame. I'm just using this one for sizing right now.
So from the artwork design all the way through production decals, how long does that take?
That depends on the scheme. This one here we're looking at probably somewhere in the 2, 3, 4 hour range. By the time we get everything primed, painted, get the decals laid on, get the top coats on, get through the entire bike. Some of the bikes are running upwards of 13, 14, 20 hours. So
how many people are involved in the process of getting these bikes painted?
Right now there are, if you're just talking paint and decal, 2 to 3. If you're talking getting parts ready, getting all the pieces machined for specific fits, things like that, then we're looking at, I want to say somewhere between 7 and 12 people. So depending on the bike, the scheme, things like that.
And what's the fastest you've turned one of these bikes around?
The fastest is probably the one that is actually going to be going on this frame, the Mark Newson scheme. They sent us files that were essentially ready to go. So we did a quick check on them and shipped them off for the decals, and they came back, and I'll be putting them on this afternoon. So that bike is really start to end less than a couple hours.
And is this same process involved in the designs that you use for Project 1 when people want to purchase a tractor?
That's a little bit different. We don't have specific requests coming in because we have our sites set up so people can, they can pick their colors and things like that. But we don't have specific designs that are coming through. as far as choosing colors, getting designs set up for those, the layout and everything is identical. Right? You know, we take a frame, fit everything to the frame, then we have to size it up to other frames. That would be about the biggest difference, is fitting a range of frames. But from there, it is pretty similar.
One of the things we're able to do in-house is when the art is designed for each model, it has to fit across all 7 or 9 sizes. We have a bunch of different sizes for each frame. And this team is going through model by model and making sure that everything fits properly on each size. The design intent needs to be kept while fitting across a pretty broad range of tube sizes and shapes. So this production part of the process is key.
How many sizes do each of these carbon bikes come in?
I think the average is 9 sizes, yeah. So it's a pretty broad range, and so the designs have to be modified pretty significantly to fit across all the different shapes and sizes.
So not only do you have an engineer designing a sized bike to work for a rider who's 5 foot and a rider who's 6'6", but you also have to redesign the decals for every single bike.
That's right. That's right. So each bike, essentially, especially when it comes to carbon bikes, is going to get its own version of how the art fits on it. So yes, we have to go through and redesign for each of those sizes. So it's pretty labor intensive. There's a lot of design work going into these pieces. So within each decal set, there will be the physical decals. It's basically like an ink transfer kind of system. There's also usually a masking component, so there will be multiple paint colors that go into each of these bikes, and many of those colors will take multiple coats. So within each art set is a masking set to control where the paint transitions happen by size, as well as a corresponding decal set that matches up to all the masking. So it's a pretty complicated graphic setup.